Hill. He's led 7 laps. He's from just 75 miles away, Winston, Georgia. And our first caution of the day for the 12 of Tanner Thorson.
That team needed.
So we can see the issue there for Thorson.
Well, he might have blown a tire. It's hard to say. He was
good job keeping it off the wall.
That line all by myself. This could be big trouble.
Oh, and there goes Fontaine. Contact and around. Crafton involved, Rhodes involved, Parker Kligerman, John Hunter Nemechek, Bo Lamastus, Johnny Sauter back there. Was it? Disaster for Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes. A couple of championship hopefuls, and look at the debris. 7 of Fontaine.
I think this is where it starts. He's up high and goes to the bottom, and Haley was there. Oh.
Watch this 75 truck, Michael. I mean, he's in the wreck right here, and he comes down the racetrack and
no brakes, obviously.
Hit again.
Oh.
And those are the ones that they all hurt. But when you
double figure trucks involved in this one.
You can see both Haley trying to get lower and Fontaine lower. And the result was carnage.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. You know, you saw the 47 truck come down right there to block. Haley had already committed to, you know, and was way lower. And, you know, from where the spotters are, that's a really tough angle to tell the driver, you know, you're clear, you're clear, you're clear. And it'd be interesting to hear his radio as to what his spotter was telling him at that particular time.
Well, we had been talking earlier about it seemed like we were so close to having the big one, but everyone had been able to keep it gathered up. Not this time. 10 different trucks involved. Big hit for Crafton.
Look at Todd Gilliland slipping through, and Myatt Schneider. Good job by those guys. Austin Hill. But unbelievable contact.
From the view of Noah Gregson.
Back it down, back it down, back it down. They're going to hit it. They're going to come back to the flag. Get on the apron, 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 apron. Clear, lower, get lower. All right, keep coming through here.
I love the job Gregson did there. He went
here at Talladega just once. It was the first race run here back in 2006. Mark Martin took it to victory lane. Oh, contact, and around goes Todd Gilliland.
Hold your brake there. You okay, Todd?
And a big hit for the 4. Was running second. Not going to happen today. Watch what happened.
There's the bump. Trying to get to the inside.
Yeah, and a lot of times what happens right there, you know, you saw him get the 98 truck up, and as he came up and hit him with the right front, it just takes, you just lose control of your truck, and it shoots it to the left. So he got in the back bumper of him, and that's what we were talking about earlier. When you're offset to the left like that, it makes that truck in front of you loose when you get into the left rear quarter panel. And then he got under him, and Infinger just came down and hit that right front and just shot it to the left. Man, that's a big hit.
A lot of times, Kevin, we watch these wrecks and haven't done this for 100. Gilliland now.
Got to be careful how far he gets out there. And
oh, and around goes Infinger. Looked like Gilliland got in the backside of the 98.
Hang on to it. Hang on to it.
Side by side, Haley and Gregson. Some contact with the 25 of Peters. And Gregson goes around.
And we're wrecking.
And they're wrecking at Talladega.
And Peters,
for the 11th time in his career,
had some good momentum to the back of Gregson and just hit him off center, and around went the 18.
And it just doesn't take much, and you could just feel, you know, the energy building as we got there towards those last couple laps, really last 6 or 7 laps there, and these guys just all started pushing and shoving, and you see Peters go up there, and Gregson went to block him. I mean, he was trying to win the race and wound up getting himself crashed, but there's no fault of his. I mean, he was doing what he had to do to try to win, and he had to block.
Watch it for from the onboard of that 18 truck.
24, don't let them split you. Keep it pink. Lane up. Quarter lane up. Keep it pink. Keep it pink. And get it rolling here when we can.
Oval. See his car? He just spins. It's hard to tell from that point if he did have a flat tire or not, but we have seen guys spin out in that tri-oval. If the cars aren't handling well, which we've heard all the drivers talk about, that is where it's going to be the worst race anymore. The 21. Oh, look out! We got to spin.
And 48. Jimmy Johnson goes around, coming through the tri-oval, and it looks as though he's not going to catch anyone else.
Oh, is he going to hit that? Oh.
He does hit the inside wall. So a lot of damage, I'm sure, to the left front of the 48.
Did a great job keeping the car from going back up the racetrack.
The Cup Series.
Here's the replay. Is it what you were talking about, Jeff? In this tri-oval? Oh, he gets loose and has to correct. And when he corrects, that really brings it back around.
You mentioned what an amazing job of staying out of getting back on the racing line.
You see his car start to go up the racetrack. He just couldn't turn it because he was too loose and had to turn it to stay off the 10 of Eric Almirola and just spun out. Something we have seen with this 48 team before, where the car gets so loose and just can't hang on to it.
So why is that tri-oval so tricky? That bottom lane is flatter than the rest of the tri-oval when they repave. Coming off of turn 4. Here he is, left rear tire, just like his teammate. It might be a global issue in these cars that they share. It's giving them problems with their left rear tire.
Slid down into the grass and he just dug in. That turf we saw last weekend.
Separated themselves, and now they're going to fight amongst themselves.
Oh, we got a crash in the back here in turn 4.
Into turn 4, up into the wall. The 23 is there, as well as Alex Bowman in the 88. The caution will come out.
That's right damage, guys. Right rear.
It's going to go to overtime.
You knew it was coming. You knew it had to happen.
Pretty heavy right side damage.
William Byron involved. We knew something like this was about to happen.
Got Alex in the middle. On the outside, Trevor Bain. Trevor gets a little loose, but they're 4 wide here. And it looks like that Alex gets loose. Just the air around that car created that. I do not believe that the 32 of Matt DiBenedetto touched that 88. It was just where the 88 was and the lack of downforce and air and side force on that car. It just got loose and spun out.
And not something uncommon with these Hendrick Motorsports cars. We've seen this over and over. When they get 3 wide and get in these compromising positions, they become very difficult to drive, and the cars, you know, that's probably the 7th, 8th time we've seen a Hendrick Motorsports car do that over the last several years.
You'll see the side draft. Look at the side draft of 12 tries there. Oh, we got a spin down the back straightaway.
Kyle Larson around. And Kyle Larson, as poorly as his car was handling to start the weekend, he goes around and bringing out the 4th caution of the day.
He didn't hit anything, but it tore the right front fender up on that car, like the 22 did.
I don't know why right front would make him spin out, though. You hear the tire blow out.
All right, guys, we're wrecking here. Looks like we blew the left rear.
Yeah, it had to be a rear tire to make him spin.
Gas up.
Yeah.
Right there.
Incredible.
Yeah, amazing. Look at Brad Keselowski.
See, the right front blew and it was spinning, and then that's what broke the right front fender.
Watch this, what Brad Keselowski sees.
Hold it even third here. Right in front of you, right in front of you. Come on through here.
Brad never heard the spotter. That happened so quickly. That's just a response. Good job by Brad. If he can get some help from behind, he's going to be aggressive.
One more time around. Will they have enough fuel? Their teammate ran out of gas. Into the wall. caution won't come out if it will not affect the end of this race. We'll see if NASCAR will throw it. If they have to get to the driver. Finish line. And we're going to look back now on that caution. Everyone, by the way, is out of their cars. Only the 9 of Chase Elliott and the 32 of Matt DiBenedetto. They're going to go to the infield care center.
Yeah, you see 42 of Larson trying to push Matt DiBenedetto through that pack. And
so the 9 and 32 were caught up in this one.
He touches the 6, and that gets the 6 car into the right rear quarter panel of Matt DiBenedetto and turns him into the wall. And then you see all those guys behind him, nowhere to go, trying to avoid it, getting into each other.
See Truex and Kyle Busch. Truex.
Yep. The 18 still rolling.